Hey everyone. Today I want to talk about listening and more specifically, a listening strategy. So, if this concept is new to you, I learned it from Kevin Oakes in a book called Culture Renovation, and I'll throw the link up here for you. So, the idea is absolutely attributed to him. But what I really want to talk about is how that helps you to build a connected culture which then helps you attract and retain top talent that gets you the results you're looking for. And so, what I've done in the past year or so, since I've read that book, I've integrated the concept of a listening strategy, moving away from the old concepts of communication strategy, right? And many of us in the change management world know all about communication strategy, but I encourage you to think a bit differently, to really rethink how you go about that, because it is so important that we understand what's happening in our organization. Any change, and particularly if you're thinking about culture change to align with your strategy and what you're trying to get in terms of results, you really need to understand the environment that you're operating in. And the only way to do that is to really take the pulse of your employees on a regular basis, to really open up the transparency realm into a different level. And so, a communication strategy, the way that we would have traditionally done it, it's not going to cut it. And to be perfectly honest, if we go back and think about it, it probably never really did. But as I often say about the pandemic over the last couple of years, it has been the greatest truth teller in the world, I would say, but in the world of business. So, some of these old practices that we have been holding on to, we see now that where the cracks are. And so we know that we need to lead differently. We know we need to behave differently, and we need to refresh the way that we're thinking about things. And so we used to go through key messages and what's the benefit, what's in it for me, what's in it for them, all of these things. Not to say those aren't important, but they aren't where we start, is what I would recommend. It's not about having the fancy presentation that we've edited 112 times, right? Anybody experience that? Um, and so it's not about that. It's about really creating a connection through openness, transparency, being honest with discernment, right? And really understanding what's happening and looking beyond the symptoms of what you're seeing or hearing to asking ourselves why. Why are those things happening? Why are people leaving? Why are they saying they want to work in a different way and they are insisting on doing things differently? And so it's really important that we listen and we listen intentionally. We need to think of this as a key management process, really. How are you baking in listening into your daily meetings, into your weekly meetings, into your one on ones? What are you doing with what you're hearing? Both qualitative data and quantitative data. And so, how are you switching things around? What kind of tools can you consider that are fit for purpose for your own organization that allow people to quickly answer one or two questions a week, a month, whatever it happens to be? What's the question of the week, right? What we are learning and what we need to shift our mindset around is that, in fact, people do want to share their opinion with you, but they need to know that you're listening and that you have the intention of doing something with this information you've provided. This is why the old school employee engagement surveys with 100 questions that take forever to analyze and report back and create a strategy around really don't work in the kind of workforce that we're managing today. People want to know that you're trying, that you're listening, that you're taking into account what's truly happening out there, and that you're working toward progress over perfection. So I'll leave that with you. Listening strategy is all around one of the key elements in my 5-step framework. And so if you're interested in getting a free ebook on that, I'll put the link up here. It's right on my website, which is www.nicolepaquette.com, if you're interested in hearing more. And then the link to the ebook is listed here. Okay, until next time.